I was in the room all alone. The door was locked, the lights were dim, and my chair was reclined all the way back. I had a stack of porno magazines to my right and porno DVDs to my left. And the best part about it is my wife was actually giving me permission this time. You see, we had just ventured down the road of in vitro fertilization, and one of the first things they requested was a semen sample from me. A couple of weeks went by, and they called me in for a second sample. Cool. But this time, they gave me a sign that said, "Do not enter," and they sent me to the small bathroom down the hall. Now, I'd worked under these conditions before. But I still felt slighted. 2 or 3 weeks later, they called me in. They needed a third sample. But this time they said, just do it at home and bring it in within 2 hours. So my wife sent me down the basement because apparently that's where we collect semen samples in my house. And I wasn't upset because I worked under these conditions before. But I couldn't help think about all those kids I probably left in those balled up napkins beside my bed when I was 13 and 25. So now I'm growing concerned. So I reached out to a friend of a friend of a friend, and they introduced me to Uncle Jesse. Now, Uncle Jesse was from Jamaica. He lived in DC, and he made porno movies, starring himself. He insisted that I start drinking this Irish mosh. Now, Irish mosh is a Jamaican seaweed that he had made into a smoothie-type beverage. And I shared it at church, and afterwards, one of the deacons pulled me to the side and said, "You need to drink this Chinese extract. It's made up of herbs and minerals that have been helping with fertility for centuries." And I later found out it had been helping with fertility issues in women for centuries. In the end, we had one viable egg, and given our ages, the doctor gave us a 1% chance of the in vitro being a success. And that's when I confided with my coworker, Sergeant Rowe. Now, Sergeant Rowe was a retired military drill sergeant, a physical fitness instructor. She was like 5 feet tall, and she always talked and stood in parade rest. "Your wife needs to drink sticky tea." I'm like, "What's sticky tea?" "Sticky tea will line her uterus, the egg will stick, and it'll stay there for 9 months. Now, the only problem was the one store that sold it was in not the safest neighborhood in the city. But she was insistent. "Get over there by 6 o'clock and get your wife some of that sticky tea." So I asked her, "What, they close at 6? "No, you need to get in and out of that neighborhood before the sun goes down." After all of that, we still had one egg, a 1% chance, and a doctor that outright told us our likelihood of us having a kid was slim to none. And then November the 1st of that next year, we had our son. They say it takes a village to have a child, and I'm a firm believer of that. But sometimes it takes a village to have one, too. Thank you.